Hi everyone, it's Galen, and I'm back showing you a little bit of gold shimmer watercolor. And also I am showing how to make ombre stamping with ink for the floral. It makes a beautiful card and background. The flower will have a variegated look to it. I'm using Unity Stamp Company's Always Growing stamp kit and also Say It Big stamp kit. I'm using My Creative Time, More Stitched Rectangular Dies, and Ganze Tambi Starry Colors watercolor. Those have the gold shimmer watercolors. I'm using Ranger Archival ink in Red Geranium, Rose Madder, Fern Green, and Sap Green. I have a pre-die cut and a stamped panel for the background watercolor on watercolor paper. Now on regular cardstock, I'm stamping the florals, and I go in with the Rose Madder, which is a lighter pink. And I stamp that first, just a solid background. And I'm coming in with a darker red geranium color, and I'm only going to be tapping and dabbing the darker color just where I want to add a darker shade. A little bit in the center, on the outer petals. Really, it's just up to you how you want to do it. You can change colors and go lighter and darker. You can add more than 2 colors. And this works better with a solid stamp where there's no coloring involved, just using ink and stamping. And you'll be able to see a little bit of a variegated look to the flower. Again, with different colors, it'll have a whole different look. And I do the same with the leaves. I use the Mini Misty for these stamping. And I go in with that light fern green, and then I add on the edges and parts of the leaves, I add the darker color. I think I started with the sap green, and the darker color is the fern green. And it's going to come out different every time. If you have the small cubes of ink, you can get into those smaller spaces more easily. I only make one pass on this type of stamping with the Misty. So I just hold it down and let the ink be grabbed by the paper. And so I just allow that to dry, and I start with a watercolor panel and a sort of a flat foam brush this time. And I just make some lines with the darkest gold on white. I use the darker gold. When you're using darker cardstock, you can actually use any of these colors, will show up nicely. But for white cardstock, the darker shade first, and I just allow it to fall down and roll down towards the bottom, but not covering the whole panel. And add another layer, more of a water. I think I added too much water to the palette, so I'm removing a little bit. And I tap some darker color, and it will blend. The water will just make it blend nicely. I dab off with a paper towel any puddles that I don't want, and I clean the craft mat as I go, just so I have less of a mess. I'm coming in with a lighter gold, and I turn the panel upside down just to make it blend a little lighter towards the bottom. I heat set that. And sometimes when you heat set, you can heat it on both sides of the panel. Now, for the flowers and the leaves, I just fussy cut them. Fussy cutting is just using your own scissors and trimming them out. Unity also has wonderful digital cuts for these. If you have a Cricut machine or another electronic machine, they cut out nicely. I just lay them together with foam tape and finish with a few adhesive pearls. And there we have it. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching. Take a moment to like and follow me. Thank you. Have a good day.